There have been no reports of Princess Catherine, Kate Middleton, making a tearful plea for King Charles to step back from her royal duties. However, I can certainly craft a creative and fictionalized story based on this idea. Princess Catherine's tearful plea, a royal struggle behind palace doors. The grandeur of Buckingham Palace, with its towering walls and golden embellishments, had always been a symbol of strength, continuity, and grace. However, behind its grand doors, whispers of tension swirled through the royal corridors, hinting at a private struggle within the House of Windsor. Princess Catherine, the beloved Princess of Wales, had always embodied poise and duty, but even she had her breaking point. On a cold evening, beneath the dim glow of the chandeliers in Clarence House, she stood before King Charles III with tears in her eyes, pleading for reprieve. A heavy burden. Since the late Queen's passing, the monarchy had entered a new era under King Charles's reign. His vision for a streamlined, modern monarchy had placed immense responsibility on a select few, none more so than Prince William and Princess Catherine. Their diaries were packed with engagements, and their presence was required at diplomatic events, charitable initiatives, and ceremonial traditions. Yet, behind the royal smiles and graceful waves, Catherine was struggling. Balancing her royal duties with raising Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis had become an overwhelming task. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Reports of King Charles's own health struggles had surfaced, adding another layer of tension. As a devoted son, Prince William had taken on more responsibilities, stepping further into his future role as king. However, it was Catherine who bore the brunt of the increasing pressure. Her once private moments with her children were dwindling, stolen by official meetings and endless public appearances. The weight of expectations pressed heavily upon her, and whispers of exhaustion followed her wherever she went. The emotional confrontation. That evening in Clarence House, Catherine had reached her limit. With William away on official duties, she had taken it upon herself to seek an audience with the king. She had practiced her words, prepared herself to be diplomatic. But the moment she faced Charles, emotions overwhelmed her. Tears welled in her eyes as she clasped her hands together, her voice breaking. "Your Majesty, I have always honored my duty. I have stood by William, by the crown, through every challenge. But I am only human. I cannot do this alone. I am a mother first, and my children need me." King Charles, taken aback, remained silent for a moment. The weight of his crown was something he understood all too well, and he knew the toll it had taken on his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II. He had long admired Catherine's strength and dedication, but now he saw something different, an exhaustion that mirrored his own. He sighed deeply, walking towards the window overlooking the palace gardens. The burden of the monarchy was one not easily shared, but he also knew the importance of family. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Catherine, he finally spoke, his voice softer than she had expected. The monarchy is in transition. William is my heir, and you, my dear, are the future queen. The people look to you for hope. She nodded, wiping a tear from her cheek. I understand that, but at what cost? I do not want to lose myself. I do not want my children to grow up missing their mother, as William once did. Her words struck a chord. King Charles had spent much of his youth longing for the affection of his own parents, particularly the late queen, who had always placed duty before motherhood. Did he wish the same fate for his grandchildren? The king's dilemma. The king turned, his expression contemplative. He had long prided himself on his ability to maintain control, to ensure the monarchy's survival. But in that moment, he saw something that reminded him of his younger self, a person torn between love and duty. What would you have me do? He finally asked. Catherine took a deep breath. Step back, Your Majesty. Allow William and me the time to focus on our family, to breathe. There are others who can support the crown. You do not have to carry it alone, and neither should we. The room fell into silence, heavy with unspoken words. It was a bold request, one that challenged the very structure of the monarchy. And yet, as King Charles studied the woman before him, he saw not just a princess, but a daughter-in-law who had given her heart and soul to the institution. Finally, he nodded. Very well, Catherine, I will consider it. A new path forward. Days later, subtle changes began to take shape. A statement from the palace announced a shift in royal responsibilities, with senior working royals taking on additional engagements to ease the load on the Prince and Princess of Wales. Catherine was granted more time with her children, and for the first time in years, she felt a sense of relief. The monarchy had always been built on sacrifice, but now perhaps it could also be built on compassion. And as Catherine walked hand in hand with her children through the palace gardens, she knew she had done the right thing, not just for herself, but for the future of the crown. Subscribe the channel to get such videos.